Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I will now demonstrate and show you how you take out your old battery in your car, truck, moped, motorcycle, whatever it might be. It's basically the same procedure. So taking the old battery, swapping it in with a brand new battery. And as a bonus, this one is a 12 volt, 90 amp hour, 700 amps EN. And these are for those that don't know what 700 AEN stands for, is cold crank amp. It's the same. So this battery has 90 amp hours and 700 cold crank amps. This battery has 95 amps on 12 volts and has 800 AEN cold crank amps. So let's get this install started. The first thing we are going to start with is the tools. For this job you can use these. I don't remember the name, but I can't because the 10mm is gone. But we need these tools, the metric ones. We need this and a 10. Here's the 10. We are also gonna need a screwdriver, a flat screwdriver, something like this one. We're of course gonna need the battery to even begin thinking of removing an old battery. First off, locate your battery. Mine is right here in the front and easy to access, easy to get out. Some cars might not, it might not be the case for all the cars. Some cars have them under this plastic. Some cars have them in the back, like the Volvo. What you need to do if you can't find it, you go in your owner's manual. And if you're wondering, this is just cardboard that I have made as a shield for the battery, because here in Norway it's it was minus 32 degrees Celsius. I will write it right here in Fahrenheit for you Americans, so you all can watch this video and understand me. So this is just a heat cover for the battery. Remove everything around. Some cars actually have a mat around the battery. On this specific vehicle, I have a cover to remove. Put it aside where you won't forget it. Let's start taking out the battery. The tools. Ratchet, socket, or you can get one of these ratchets. You just put it in a battery, and you just press it, and it tightens and loosens it automatically. But you don't need these. I will only use manual tools today to show you exactly how you do it. So first you need to locate your battery poles. Move everything aside and locate your pole. This is the minus, so I need to take it out. This does not fit, that's okay. We are then going to take a adjustable wrench. These are really helpful for when you don't have the exact tools you need. Get it wider and twist. This is a too big one for the job, but it gets the job done. And as you see, I have a small tab between my battery pole and clamp. Is because this battery has been, you have used a polisher on it that took off too much material, so now the clamp does not clamp well on. So just loosen it. In my case, pull out the clamp, put it aside because you might need it. I'm gonna put it on top of my workbench there. Now for the fun part. We actually, I like to take the screwdriver on this part. You don't need, if you have long enough cables, you can just put them aside. But in my case, I have a long enough cable. But what I like to do, I like to take the screwdriver, put it inside the clamp, and just make it fit somewhere, like this. Now, on to the next pole. It's the same procedure here. 10 millimeters. Take the wrench, loosen. And these might be difficult to get off. Just be patient and don't rush it. It's a simple job. It just takes time. Now it should be loose. Wiggle it. It's more stuck than I thought. Now it's loose. Now for the next part. You need to move aside the wire. And if possible, move aside this one. And we're gonna locate the battery locking tabs. There's one right down there. And I believe there's one right down there. It's too dark, so we're gonna get the flashlight. And look at that. Flashlight is ready to use. It even has power. Look down on the side. And there's no clamp here. There's just a metal part folded over the battery edge. So we need to take out the clamp, and that is looks to be a 12 millimeter. Then we're gonna go get a 12 millimeter to put on and an extension. Take the 10 mil socket off, put it aside. Then we go into the toolkit. There's the 10, a quick tip. If you don't always see the numbers, you can go, if you know that this is a 10, 10, 11, 12. This is the one we need. With a 100 millimeter or a 4-inch extension. I will just say it right now. This is tools that I have bought myself. It is not cheap to have tools, but it's not expensive. They pay off themselves pretty fast, I will say. So, let's see. Does it go all the way down? No. Then we need another extension. Then we go in the toolkit. Find the other extension. A 2-inch or 50 millimeters. And this will bring the total length up to 6 inches or 150 millimeters. Now we are talking. Now we are reaching the bolt. Now you just need to put this is gonna be a hard one with one hand. You just need to take the power that you have in your arm and twist it. Twist. As easy as that. And when you have loosened it, go down and take it off the rest by hand. Lift up the tab. Lift up this tab right there and pull it aside. If it is possible, you can twist it, but that's not in my case. So I need to take it out completely, but I have one more tool to use for this. For those of you that saw this one and wondered what it might be, this is a genius invention. It's a magnetic tray, or what you want to call it. This one, I can put it right there, up on the bonnet, like this. And this is with lights, so I can have a small work light. And or flip it into the bowl to see what's in the bowl. Now we remove the tab and the bolt. And these were longer than I thought. And mind you, this is the first time I have changed the battery on this engine or this car. So we are both learning together. There, it's loose. Take both the bolt and the clamp and put it in a magnetic tray, like so. Now you will remember where you have them, and you will not knock them down into the engine bay, or in the worst case, like I have done before, under the engine, because I don't know if you see it. If you go to here, you see the bottom under the wire. That is the plastic tray underneath here. So if I drop a bolt down there, I'll either have to use a magnetic stick with a grappler, just like this one. It has magnets in the front, and it also have claws to take and retrieve things. It's easy to use, and if you buy it, you will never regret it. So now the tabs are out, we will need to take the battery and check if it's loose, like this. That is a good sign. Then we are gonna isolate this and this cap or pole. And if you're like me and you buy a new battery, every time you're gonna swap out the batteries, you leave these caps. Don't throw them out. These are actually kind of good. Then you take it, put the plus on the plus and the minus on the minus. Now you see, even if it touches, I will turn on some lights. Even if it touches the plastic, you won't get a connection. So that means you don't get a spark or anything like that. And yes, some of you might be typing it out. These lights are one of the reasons that my battery died. It's also old. Into the part where we're taking out the battery. And this is the most tricky part in my opinion. So let's take it out. Sorry for the bad view, but I had to place the phone somewhere else to be able to do this job, because this battery is heavy, and almost every battery on every car is heavy. So you pull it towards the place where you had this locking tab. After you remove it, you pull it towards that side, because this one has a metal edge curled around the bottom of the battery. There is a small edge, small lip. So after you've done that, you simply just pull it up, straight up, and out it comes. So let's see if I can carry this in one hand, just like I'm doing, and place it on the bench. Like that. Put the voltmeter on volts DC, 20 volts DC, because this is a 12 volt and 20 will read the 12. Be careful, put the right setting on the multimeter before you use it. So pull off these caps that we put on the new battery again, because these are coming in handy when we install it. So I'm gonna put it all up so you can see it clear as day. There, you see, 20 volts DC, and it is showing 0. That's because there is nothing in touch or touching these probes. Minus on minus, plus on plus. What reading do we get? We get 13.19, so 13.2. That is a good amount of volts, but the problem is that the battery is dead, so there's not enough amps. So then we're gonna test the new battery and I'll be back. The new battery has had 13.4 volts and the old battery had 13.2 volts. And these both are looking good, but as I said, this is worn out. And some of you that have paid attention have seen the difference in this and this battery. This is the battery that is supposed to go in the car. This one just fits. Let's get to installing the battery. Okay, now it's time to put in the battery. And as you remember, the plus is on that side and the minus is on the left side. So take a quick peek down into the box and just make sure that there's nothing in the way of the battery. I have a few wires that I need to tuck in on the other side of the box. Now it looks completely fine and ready to be put in. Now you just take your battery, plop it down in there, like so. Make sure you pull it towards the locking tab or the direction of the locking tab, and then push it in to the small lip that is locking it in place. Next step, take the locking tab and the bolt, both of these are needed, and just put them in their place. Locking tab first. Sometimes you need a light to see. I need to move my locking tab to that side, and now there is a clear view down the hole. Now we just tighten it with our fingers. It might take a couple of seconds, but it is worth the time. So tighten it up, not too much, just tighten it enough that is not moving the battery. Battery is still moving a bit. It's moving about half a centimeter, and that is okay, but I want it tight. I want it to stay in place even if the car flips around 15 times, because if the battery touches plus and minus pole to the bonnet, then it might catch fire, and that is not a good day. So, and one more thing that I forgot to tell you before I started: have a fire extinguisher nearby and easy to grab, like this one. It is in clear view, you see it very well, and if something goes wrong, you grab it, pull the pin and aim the fire. Make sure the fire extinguishers are rated for this: A fire, B fire and C fire. Make sure it's rated for battery powered fires. Some might not put out the battery fires, but some do. And I bought this one because I have a diesel, the car leaks diesel. So, and if you don't need it right now, you might need it in the future. And if you need it in the future, it's better to have it than not. So, let's get the poles on the battery. And if you see, we have the 12mm socket and a 10mm nut. We need to swap out the 12, for a 10. And since I was filming the intro, I put the 10 back in its place. And now I'm gonna put the 12 there. Take it out. Open your tool set. 12, 11, 10. Without even looking. Oh, I almost forgot. We need this one, but we don't need all the extensions. So, I will take them off, like so. Put it on, squeeze, push the button, and on. Now it's locked in place. Now we're ready to fasten the battery. So, pull this one off, put it aside somewhere you might not lose it. For example, this bolt or nut or what you want to call it fits perfectly, snugly, won't fall off. Then you take the battery lead, and oh no, I have a problem. This battery lead is tight right now, so I might actually be needing to loosen it down there to make it stretch up and fit on this one. Then, since we're gonna be touching metal on metal, move it away from the pole and put the cap on. So we don't short anything from positive to negative, even if the negative are disconnected and the positive is disconnected. Because if you send plus, for example, down into Earth via this cable, you might fry your computer, and that is an expensive mistake. So, what size is this? This is a 7 or 8. I know that I don't have a 7 or 8 in my toolkit, so I'll go down 8, 7. It might look like it's a 7. And now I'm gonna be cheating a bit. I'm gonna use my my electric tools that comes with an extension. That is nice. Wrong way. It spins right, and then flip it so it spins left. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Oh no, I made a mistake. It's an 8. I'm gonna cut that part out. Take a normal screwdriver. I like these short but thick screwdrivers, especially for the jobs where you need to take off some of these rings, like this one. Don't have metal on the battery, so just put it in the screw and twist to untighten it. When you feel it's loose, just grab the filter, twist. Now it's loose, take it off. Put it aside. That's a place where it might possibly fall. So I'm gonna lay it inside the garage with the screwdriver. And as you can see, now we have better access to the wire that is tight. So, what do I need to do? It looks like I just need to move that clip. This clip right here. So, let's try to do it while you are watching. Now you see it from that angle. I'm gonna take the magnetic tray, because that has a light, so I can put it anywhere I want, like so, and have a small working light down in the engine bay. This one is not coming loose with just the fingers, so I'm gonna take the screwdriver that's holding the minus pole, put it down here, use the flashlight to get a better angle so I can push, put it down and push, like so. Some of these clips you may need to be careful with because they easily break. So, it is not coming loose. Okay, that is a problem. I'll be right back. So, now we try to put on the battery pole, remove caps, put in secure place, take the clip or clamp and get it over the battery pole like so. And these you just push down. You need to push it down quite a bit. Sometimes they just won't go down. So you can use a little bit of force. And it's not recommended, but you can always use a bit of, what's it called? Knock it into place, like so. Now it is on. And we take hammer, put it away. Take off our extensions and 12 millimeters. Take the 10, put it in the ratchet, and tighten. It's not needing to be super tight at all. You just need it to be tight enough so you can't twist the pole, like so. This is on there quite good. It is a small gap, but that's how it's supposed to be. Now we take the minus. This is the first one we take off, and the last one we put on. Now we remove our screwdriver, and see, it's covered in plastic all the way. That is so no metal will be touching the pole and the body at the same time. So let's see. Now at this point it might make a small spark. It did not, but it turned on the lights. So those will be turned off like so. And that means we have connection on our battery. And it looks like this one will be able to be tightened down without any problems. I just need to remove the small wire that is on the pole or the clamp. So take out the small nut. Might be a hard-ish job to do with only your fingers, so be prepared. Sometimes you might drop stuff, but that's okay. If you have the tools to retrieve it, you can drop as many things as you want. Nut in nut in the magnetic tray. Washer, same place. The wire I was talking about, it's a small wire. I don't know why it is there, but I'm gonna remove it. Then take out the washer, put it on, take out your nut, and sometimes you might be needing to clean it, but it looks like that's not the case today. Put it on along with the washer. Take the ratchet on and just go on tighten it. It's not the hardest job to do. It takes some time. I will cut down the video for time purposes, because I think I've been out for about 1.5 hours combined. So this is a process that takes time, but is well worth the time you're putting into it. So same with the minus as the plus. It's tight, so tight enough that you cannot twist it. And this is not tight enough. Tighter it is. Now I think I have it at the tightest point, and I cannot turn it around. There. Now we finish by tightening everything that we have loosened properly. I'm gonna grab another extension. Now I'm back. So, loosen the clamp, push the battery backwards, push the clamp same direction as the battery, and tighten. Now it's all set on the battery clamp. Next part is to take the wires that you have moved and put them back in their place. Like so. And I see that I have a small hose clamp sticking out. So I think I'm actually gonna cut this one. So I'll be back in a short while. Now it's cut off. And we are ready to put on the cover on the battery pole. Take the cover. Look at the way it locks. Right here. Line it up with the tabs on the back side right there. Some cars has these, not all, but mine do. So in place. And if I were to make this perfect, I would cut out a small portion around here to make this fit. But I'm not going to do that today. There. Now you've seen swap out. Now you have seen me swap out the old battery for the new battery. So let's put on the air filter again and start it up for the first time with a brand new battery. But first, filter on, clean up the work area and take your tools, put them back in their place so they're easy to find the next time you need to use them. See you in a second. And boom, we are done. So, let's clean up all of the tools we have taken out of either ours or others' toolbox. So, in my case, I have borrowed 2 tools from my father-in-law. One is put back and one is yet to be put back. So, we're gonna prioritize the other person's tool first. And both me and my father-in-law, we demand that if you borrow one or more of our tools, you clean them. But this has not been dirty. So there's no need to clean that off. It has snipped off one tiny part. So, next up,
we have these tools right here, these extensions, the pipe, or what you call the cap, and the ratchet. So, and we have another one, both going into my tool set.
There, open it. This is a 10, I believe. Yes, goes in the 10. Then we take off the 12, put it in this place. Then the 2-inch extender. Then the 4-inch extender. Sorry about the voice. And a ratchet.
There, you see, a complete full toolkit. This tool, it's a kind of a screwdriver where you put on these, or these if you want. This one is broken And I have not bought another one because I rarely use it. Because I don't have many of these, which are adapters from half-inch square to half-inch hex, or what's it called? The six-sided, the bit adapter. I only have these 3 bits. And this one is used for the largest one, I believe. Or is they all the same? Or are they all the same? They are the same. And quick tip, if you are ever removing the steering wheel from a Audi A4, B5 or B6, I know for a fact the B6 can be removed with either the T50 Torx or T55 Torx. The Audi A4, B5, I am not so sure. So, close it. And I don't lock it because it's in a drawer, like so. Take the extension from the Ryobi, put it into the Ryobi, put on the battery nicely. And I'm not going to charge the Ryobi today, so it will be waiting for a charge. Now you know exactly where you find your tools. If you put them back, like so. You have more tools to go. This is the least fun process, but it is a process that needs to be done. Like so. Take the hammer. I'm going to carry all in my hands. Now we only have our own tools to put in place. So, 1 hammer, 2 screwdrivers, both hammer and an adjustable wrench. Both hammer, screwdrivers, and adjustable wrench go in the same drawer. That's because these are the items that I use the most, except for these pipes and these electric tools. Then is this little wire. This one is going in the trash, so I will throw it away after the video is done. This one is going into the same drawer as all my pipes, adapters, and adapters from hex drive to square drive, and a special key for that bike over there. Now there's one thing I almost forgot.
We have to take these caps off. I do it. Not all people do it. I know many people, they just take them off and throw them away. Plus on plus, minus on minus. So, even if I take this one and lay it across both poles, like so, I think it's touching both poles. Nothing happens. So, when you're swapping out your battery, just be sure. Because the worst part about holding the pole plus to minus on a acid battery is the risk of explosion. Same with lithium ion, LiPo, and all batteries. No battery is designed for the plus and the minus to touch, or plus and minus. We need to take one last look, and I like to bring the flashlight to see, is there anything that we missed? That bolt is tight, that one's tight, that one's tight. Nothing on here, nothing around. So we are good to go, almost. Because I need to test if this hits the top of the battery. So let's see. We have about how much to work with right now. We have, I think we might be able to close the bonnet or the hood, whatever you might call it. Depends on which country, which place you're from. So, drop test. It closed beautifully. Didn't hear any cracks. Now, on to the final moment. Get the keys. And ready? Look it. It's not popping up. Start. Start just like a dream. And if I'm not mistaken, if I give it some gas, will go straight up to 13 volts. If I hold it at about 1,500 for a small amount of time, like so, it should not drop very far. There we go. When you're leaving the car, I always take the key. Because if you get used to putting the key in the ignition and just walking out, and you buy yourself another car, there might actually be a chance, I don't know how big chance, but there is a chance that your car will lock automatically even with the key inside. So here we take this cardboard that I cut out and folded and had an arts and craft project with. Put it on top of the battery, secure it with tape, like so. Does not need to be really hard secured, because around this headlight, it takes in cold air in the winter and it goes straight in and hits the battery. Cold kills batteries. So, closed as it should. The car is done. Before you're done, check if the garage is as you left it the first time. So, the battery I am keeping on here because I'm going tomorrow to throw it out. Here in Norway we have to pay. For example, here in Trysil we have Søyr, and we pay them to take in lead acid and other types of batteries. So let's look. Workstation, clean. Father-in-law's workstation, just as it was when I came. This toolkit is usually standing there, and now it looks just fine. Easy access to all the stuff you might need, the chemicals, the welder, some speakers and air filter box for my car. Now this garage looks completely fine as it was when I left it or came to it. So next task, take out the roll, plug in the car. So it charges overnight. But I'm not gonna bore you with that, so goodbye.